The Indian subcontinent is a victim of its own perfect geography. Most people explain India's cleanliness problem through poverty, corruption, or just a lack of civic sense. In the next few minutes, we'll understand why the civic sense of Europeans and Indians developed differently, why one neighborhood in Singapore is still dirty, how Japan's punishing geography created the world's most disciplined culture, and by the end of this video, you'll realize how India's perfect geography incentivized mediocrity. Let's get to the source. In medieval Europe, sanitation wasn't a choice. If you didn't manage waste in a cold, dark, dense city, you got the plague. You died. Civic sense was encoded into their DNA through trauma. Unlike medieval Europe, ancient India had a cheat code. The sun was hot enough to burn off organic waste and to kill pathogens. The monsoons were heavy enough to flush our mess out of sight before it ever became a survival threat. And at the center of it all was the Indo-Gangetic plain. It is the largest continuous stretch of fertile alluvial soil on the planet. It is a 2,500 kilometer safety net where the soil is so deep and the water so plentiful that perfection was never a requirement for survival. The geography of South Asia is so forgiving and optimized for human life that it has consistently supported the highest population densities in human history. Perfection and discipline never got a chance to develop because survival was a walk in the park, and the software South Asians operate on today is a direct product of that geography. And when you have a 5,000-year-old software, even the most expensive hardware in the world starts to glitch. Let me show you what I mean. I live in Singapore. And you must have seen other YouTubers praise the Singapore system. Take a look. It is literally spotless. And this is not even the best part of Singapore. It's just a residential town, not a tourist area, just a place where regular people live. So if we just replicate this same system in India, problem solved, right? And this is Little India. Not what you would expect a place in Singapore to look like, isn't it? So who do we blame now? Because the Indian government is not in charge here. The Singapore hardware is perfect, but as you can see, the software has not updated yet. If the system was the only thing that mattered, Little India would be indistinguishable from the rest of Singapore. But it isn't, because you can change the laws, but you can't change the South Asian software. It is a deep-coded instinct that says outside is someone else's problem. And here's where that instinct actually comes from. For 5,000 years, outside really was someone else's problem. It was the nature's problem, and nature handled it well because waste was organic and the earth knew exactly what to do with it. Today, nature can no longer handle plastic. So we've just reassigned the job. Same instinct, different scapegoat. It used to be nature's responsibility, now it's the government's. So here's the thing. There's a country that solved this without a scapegoat and barely any public trash cans. Japan is probably the cleanest place on earth, but if you've been there, you'll notice something shocking. There are almost no public trash cans. They were removed after a terrorist attacked in 1995 and never came back. Tourists have to walk around Tokyo for 20 minutes just to find a bin. And yet, the streets are spotless. Why? Because in Japan, keeping the streets clean is a personal responsibility. You don't litter because you feel like the street belongs to you. Compare that to the mentality back home. Our houses are immaculate. We shower twice a day. We use water over toilet paper. But the second we step outside the house, the responsibility ends. The pavement belongs to the municipality. The park belongs to the state. In the subcontinent, when someone drops trash on the street, in his head, he isn't littering his own space. He's littering the government space, and the government should come and fix it. So why do the Japanese feel that ownership while we don't? Again, it's the geography. Japan is a land that punishes mistakes. It is a volcanic, earthquake-prone island where if you build a shabby house or ignore a community rule, your entire lineage could be wiped out in a single night. They could never afford the luxury of being ordinary. They had to be disciplined just to stay alive. In India, we are proud of something called jugaad, an unconventional, good enough workaround. But in Japan, jugaad will kill you, literally. The geography of the Indian subcontinent is so optimized for human life that it actually incentivized mediocrity. If you dump garbage on an empty plot of land, the 45-degree sun kills the pathogens, and the earth turns that waste into manure. Instead of getting the plague, you got the fertilizer. The Indo-Gangetic plain is so fertile and the rivers so perennial that if you miss a harvest, there is another one right around the corner. The winters are mild, the summers manageable, and the rainfall predictable. It was survival of the fittest on easy mode. Mediocrity still allowed us to produce so much surplus that early Europeans spent centuries on dangerous, world-altering expeditions just to get their hands on our produce. But the glory days are over. Today, millions of us are moving to foreign lands carrying the same legacy habits. It's why pan stains on a London street feels like a glitch in the system. Back home, our land can no longer absorb the plastic litter we've been throwing around. For 5,000 years, our waste was in total sync with the earth and the sun. Today, that synchronization has failed. Nature has no hardware for plastic. We are trying to run a concrete superpower on legacy code written for banana leaves, clay pots, and open fields. We keep waiting for a government patch, a new law, a new fine, a new bin. We are the first generation of Indians in 5,000 years who can no longer afford the luxury of chalta hai. Because for the first time in our history, if we don't clean it, the sun won't burn it, the rain won't wash it, and the earth won't swallow it. We are finally being punished for mediocrity.